Yes,
to
yes,
start
yes.
with the
Okay, yes.
much obliged. Mr. Rajan Pillai, am I correct to say that police took your statements during the investigation?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Am I correct to say that during the investigation, police took your statement?
Yes.
Yes. And did you or did you not stated in that statement that nothing from the house was stolen?
Well, I was in a depressed state and I wasn't, in a right condition.
Please stick to the answer. Did you say this or not?
I said that nothing was stolen from the Almirah, but
Thank
later
you.
I found out that bangles were stolen from her body.
Did you ever tell this to the inspector?
Yes, I did.
When can you say?
After on evening and all.
But this has not been made part of record.
That's not really my thing. I think you should ask.
No, this is the first time you are telling this in this court, right?
Yes.
Yes. And you explicitly told the inspector that nothing was stolen. Still, the inspector sees that Almirah. Am I correct to say that?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. No further questions.
The cross-examination is over.
Yes.
Yes, Your Lordship. No further questions from the witness.
Any re-examination from the side of prosecution? Any
No, Your-
re-exam? No.
No.
Then we can go to the next witness.
Prosecution.
Court officer?
The prosecution.
Prosecution, kindly bring the next witness.
Yes, Your Honor. The prosecution calls upon Krishnan, the milkman, as their next witness.
PW 11, Krishnan. Please proceed to the witness box. Please repeat after me. I shall state only the truth,
State only the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
Witness, please state your name and profession for the benefit of the court.
My name is Krishnan and I'm a milk supplier.
Okay, thank you. Could you please tell us what your relation to the case is?
On 25th April, I went to Sarojini Amma's home to collect milk money. I went there around 10:45 a.m. and when I went there, I saw Hemant Manda with Sarojini Amma. And after talking with Sarojini Amma, I left her residence at 11 a.m.
Thank you, witness. Can you describe the atmosphere of what you witnessed in the house?
When I went there, they were kind of having some heated discussion regarding money. Sarojini Amma was kind of angry or sad, and Hemant was very distressed and angry, and they were having some conversation regarding money.
Thank you, witness. Also, can you describe like the accused? You've known him for a while. Can you describe him? Any specifications?
Yeah, Hemant had a scar on his left eyebrow.
Thank you, witness. Also, anything you noticed about Sarojini Amma in terms of her attire or?
Sorry, can you please repeat the question once more?
Anything you noticed about Sarojini Amma at the day of when you saw her? Did you notice anything she was wearing or like what was her?
On the day, I think she was wearing many gold bangles on her hands.
Thank you, witness. The witness is now open for cross-examination.
The counsel seeks permission to cross-examine the
Yes,
witness.
yes. Proceed.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Krishnan. Am I audible?
Yes, yes. You can ask the question.
Okay. Krishnan, so you said that you went to Sarojini Amma's house that day,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
What did you see there?
When I went there, I saw Hemant with Sarojini Amma that day.
Approximately how much distance would you and Hemant Mandal would be having?
I went there and rang the bell, and Sarojini Amma came outside. Hemant was also with Sarojini Amma
So exactly in front of the gate or a little far away?
in front of the door.
Okay. You said that they were having a heated argument. In
Yes.
any of your statements before this, did you mention this?
I mentioned that they were having some kind of conversation, and I also talked to
Did
them.
you
So,
mention that they were having a heated argument?
yes.
Where?
I'm sorry, can you please repeat?
Where did you mention that they were having a heated argument?
I have mentioned it to the inspector.
Point to be noted, Your Lordship.
Yes,
In none of the statements, it was
Yes.
stated that they were having a heated argument.
yes. Omission amounting to contradiction.
Objection, objection in
No,
honor. The document they are referring to have not been marked before the court.
Not necessary.
Is not therefore admissible.
No. If there is an omission from the part of the
Yes.
victim stating the thing before the police, that will amount to contradiction. We can proceed with the cross-examination.
no more further questions.
Thank you. Three.
Any re-examination from the side of the prosecution? Anything to be clarified?
Am I audible?
Yes.
Witness, could you elaborate a bit more on what you did about the information regarding the tense situation you gathered on that day, with respect to
I talked with Hemant, and when I was about to leave her residence, I asked Hemant if whether he need to be dropped at the railway station or for going to his hometown, as he has mentioned that he was going to his hometown, but he insisted that he will be going alone by bus. So I left her residence.
thank you, witness.
With the
But
permission of Your Lordship, the defense
Yes.
seeks to go further first. Much obliged,
Okay.
Lordship.
Okay. Thank you.
Krishnan, as you stated earlier that they were having an angry conversation, and you also stated previously in a 161 CRPC statement given to police that you also chatted with them on the door meanwhile, right?
Yes.
Yes. And what did you talk about that time?
With Hemant, I talked about whether he need to get to be dropped at the railway station, and also I asked him why he hadn't gone for work that day.
Sure. Did you ever told this to the investigation officer again before that you asked him that whether or not he needed to be dropped somewhere? Have you ever mentioned this before?
Yes.
In any statement given to
Yes.
police? Your Lordship, point to be noted, it was nowhere mentioned in the 161 statement given to the police that this point was said. It has only been mentioned here for the first time.
Okay.
Further,
Okay.
much obliged, Your Lordships. Further, you also talked to Sarojini Amma then. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. What did you guys talked about?
We were having like a chit chat. I asked him where her husband was and all, and I collected the money and left.
Okay. So, isn't this odd that they were having a very heated conversation before you came around? You normally chat with them and then leave. Didn't you find anything suspicious? And if you did, why didn't you do something about it?
The situation was suspicious, but I'm a stranger and I went there to collect milk money. So how can I interfere in another person's?
How much amount of money was due?
350.
350. And you, what was it regarding? What money was related to?
The money for my milk that I supply to her.
You usually collect the money at any day you prefer. This 25th is really odd, don't you say? 25th of a month you picked up randomly.
No.
No, that's not. I actually collect money after every 2 weeks. So
Every 2 weeks. And what date would that fall? Still 25, I don't see to be a very relevant week.
no,
If I'm
last
not
time
wrong,
I
that was
collected
Tuesday
money
that day,
from
right?
him was
It was Tuesday,
before
right?
2 weeks.
That day?
So
It was Tuesday that day.
Asked and answered.
Your Lordship, I'm asking a relevant question. What was the day of that day? Can you tell the court? That was Tuesday, right?
I actually don't remember the exact day, but I know it's 25th as that's the day I went to collect money from her.
Your Lordship, point to be noted
Yes.
that under section 154, the witness is trying to answer from his memory and trying to remember, which is impeaching his own credit. No further questions, Your Lordship.
Any further re-examination on these points?
Yes.
Okay,
Court officer, we can move to the next witness.
yes.
Prosecution, who would you like to call upon next?
The prosecution would like to call Abhiram Das next.
PW6, Abhiram Das, please proceed to the witness box. Please repeat after me. I shall state,
I shall state
only the truth,
only the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
Thank you, court officer. Witness, for the benefit of the court, please state your name and profession.
My name is Abhiram Das and I am a migrant laborer.
Could you also state what your relationship with the case is?
My relationship with the case would be that, hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Like I said, my name is Abhiram Das and I am a migrant laborer. The accused Hemant Mandal is actually my co-worker. And he had left for the Chitty on 25th April. After which I had not seen him. I had tried contacting him to get further details and his phone was switched off.
Could you please state your relationship with the accused?
My relationship with the accused would be a rather friendly one. In the migrant laborer's house, I would say I was one of the more friendly people with him. We used to talk a lot. But quite recently, he was more or less distressed for the past few days.
Could you elaborate a little bit on the reason for distress?
Yeah, most certainly. We talked about it quite a bit. He said his distress mainly came from his financial situation. Actually, more about his household situation where his houses needed repair and he needed money for that. So he was quite distressed about it. And he used to talk about our adjacent neighbor as well, Sarojini Amma, and the amount of money she had. And he used to get quite angry because she never gave him any extra work, even if he asked. And she was quite stingy with her money, according to Hemant Das.
Do you know of any interactions that took place between Hemant and Sarojini? What was their relationship?
No, prior to this, I do not recall any kind of interaction between Hemant Das and Sarojini Amma.
Could you elaborate a little bit on the character of the deceased, Sarojini Amma?
Sarojini Amma, she was quite a reserved person. I've heard she's quite a, what do you say? She's quite a rich person as well. She used to wear a lot of bangles on her hand and walk. And that used to, as a migrant laborer who's quite poor, this used to, reflect upon us because it used to show her financial status, and Hemant used to talk about this.
Also, is there anything in specific about Hemant Mandal that would differentiate him from others?
He, he had a very quite distinct scar on his left eyebrow, above his left eyebrow.
Thank you, witness. The witness is now open for cross-examination.
Okay. Cross.
With the permission of your lordship.
Yes, cross.
Much obliged, lordship. So, Mr. Abhiram Das, again,
Yes.
did police ask you about any questions, any statements you must have given to police during investigations, right?
Yes, I
help
did give
out?
us. Yes, I did give a statement to Inspector Rishi.
Yes. So, did you mention the relationship between Sarojini Amma and our accused, which you just stated in the court?
No, I didn't think it was relevant at that moment. I didn't really think about
You didn't
it.
think it was relevant that he was few days back being distressed and talking about Sarojini Amma's rich and well, and next day she was found dead. You thought this fact was not relevant to the case. Are you saying
No,
that?
no, they wanted to know where he was at the moment, and I just told him the relevant facts, that where he was, where he said he was going, and where he was going to go. So that is what I
Yes.
said.
And you were aware of the fact that Sarojini Amma was found dead. Am I right?
Yes. Yes.
And still you didn't think this was a relevant fact to tell them about his being distressed and talking about Sarojini
Objection,
Amma's
Your
riches
Honor.
and
I've
wealth.
asked and answered.
No, Your Lordship, just so that he did not answer this question correctly. Like correctly, as in he just tried to budge the question. I'm just reading the question to get the answer.
Okay,
Permission
proceed,
of your Lordship.
proceed.
Much obliged, Your Lordship. So, Mr. Abhiram Das, can you please answer? So, you did not feel the fact being the issues, distress issues with the accused and Sarojini Amma's talking, it was not a relevant fact according to you back then. And you did not tell this to police officer back then in your 161 statements.
No, Hemant was missing when we all went to the station, and they wanted to know where he was. So I accordingly gave them the info as to where he might be. I did not.
You went to the
state
station,
him.
or police officers came to your house to take your during the investigations?
They sent us a notice to report to the station.
And then you went to the station. When did this happen?
The 5 of us went.
Yes. On which date?
The same day, I believe.
Same day, 25th or 26th?
I'm sorry.
On which date you went? 26th?
I'm sorry. I'm unclear on the date.
You're unclear on the date that you gave the statement. Okay. Point to be noted, Your Lordship. Further again, I just want a straight answer from you, please. This relevant fact, which you just gave in this court, that Hemant Mandal was talking about the victim's riches and wealth, and he was also distressed. This very fact you just stated in the court. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. And you did not tell the statement to the investigating officer during the investigation, even though being well aware of the fact. Sorry?
The counsel is asking the question again and again. It has already been answered.
Your Lordship, my apologies. This is our last question, then we'll wrap it. So you did not tell this fact to the investigating officer? Please just answer yes or no before.
I'm sorry, but it's not as simple as that. They had asked me for where Hemant was, and I gave them that info. I did not give them anything more than that.
You were aware that Sarojini Amma was found dead. Still, you didn't seem. It's no problem. You just did not feel that this was a relevant fact.
Objection, Your Honor. Badgering the witness.
It's a matter for argument. You can move to the next question.
Okay. Much
To what extent this is relevant, we can consider at the time of hearing.
Much obligation. So, how was the relation with the accused?
Friendly, I would say.
Friendly. Okay. So no further questions, Your Lordship.
Okay.
That's it.
What of the next witness?
Prosecution, who would you like to call upon next?
The prosecution would like to call upon CPO Ahmad as the next witness.
PW4, Ahmed, please proceed to the witness box. Please repeat after me. I shall state
I shall state
only the truth,
only the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
Thank you, court officer. Witness, for the benefit of the court, can you please state your name and profession?
Myself, Ahmed. I am a civil police officer of Kerala Police Dog Squad. I have been in the team for 7 years with Bruno.
Thank you, witness. I will now show you a document. Can you please tell me if you recognize this document?
Yes.
Thank you, witness. Please mark this as Exhibit A. Okay.
This is a 161 statement, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
it was an 160. I was waiting why she's marking it.
You're not supposed to mark the 161 statement. Okay.
Why don't the defense object to it?
Hmm.
Yes, Your Honor.
Proceed.
Witness, please state your relationship with this case.
On 25th of April 2022, on a requisition from SHO of Medical College Police Station Rishi, me and Bruno went to Keshodasuram where the crime occurred. Me and Bruno went through the kitchen door and the body was lying on the bedroom near to the kitchen on a supine position. Bruno sniffed the body. Then he smelled the pillow nearby. Then Bruno smelled Rajendra Pillai, Gopakumar, and his son, and Dr. Sadish, and some other people in that there. Then Bruno went straight to the house nearby. The door was locked. Bruno barked 2 times in front of the door. Then Bruno went to the bus stop of Keshodasuram. There Bruno stopped.
Thank you, witness. Can you elaborate what your findings, being an expert, would be?
My finding is that a person who had the dominant smell in the room went to the house nearby. Then he went to the bus stop. Then he took a bus from there.
Thank you, witness. The witness is now open for cross-examination.
The counsel would like to proceed with the cross-examination.
Okay.
Yes, Ahmed. So you said that you have experience of more than 7 years, right?
Yes.
So when you received the message, what did you do? What was your first action?
Bruno was with me on that time. Me and Bruno directly went to the Keshodasuram. When I received the information, I was at Pattam. Then I went to Keshodasuram. I received the message by 3 p.m. and I reached there by 3:25 p.m. And I met with SHO Rishi. Then me and Bruno moved towards the kitchen area.
All right. So what was your observations there then?
My observation is that a person who was there at the time of crime, he went to the nearby house. I came to know by Inspector Rishi that there is a place where the migrant neighbors were staying. Then Bruno moved on to the bus stop. I think the person who did this went to that house, the nearby house. Then he went to the bus stop and he took a bus.
So Inspector Rishi told you that there was a migrant laborer who was missing out, or the dog
Yes.
took you?
Yes, it was mentioned by, I came to know that from Rishi that one person was missing.
So you took the dog from the victim's house to the migrant laborer's house after Inspector Rishi told you?
Bruno sniffed there the
So what
body
did-
and the pillow.
Then Bruno went to the house nearby where the migrant laborers were staying. Then Bruno went to the bus stop and he stopped there.
Okay, did you make any of the accused belongings sniff to the dog?
The pillow nearby, it was smelled by Bruno. And Bruno
No.
then smelled the persons standing there. But he,
I guess you didn't understand my question. My question was that did you make the dog Bruno sniff any of the accused belonging before you took him to the victim's house?
the house was, the migrant laborers house was closed. After we went to the house.
Okay, my next question.
Okay.
Thank you. My next question. Is it not possible that somebody else had passed away from that passage?
Bruno's how we function is that the dog Bruno, he is very experienced. He have many awards from the state police chief also. Bruno is that much experienced, and I am with Bruno for the past 7 years. Bruno
Did he know who accused was? If he had 7 years of experience, did he know who was accused?
The person who did this, he went to the nearby house. Then he
So
went to the bus
it could
stop.
have been somebody else as well. It could have been somebody else as well. How are you so sure that it was the accused only?
Because the dominant smell in that room and on the pillow, on the dead body and the pillow, that went to that migrant laborer's house. When we reached there, the door was closed. Then Bruno went to the nearby bus stop. That is the pathway of the person who did this.
Again, I'm restating my question. Did you make Bruno sniff any of the accused belongings? Yes or no?
No.
How can you say that it was accused who passed away from that passage? It could have been somebody else who did that.
No, because
It is possible,
Bruno
why
smelled
not?
the dead body and the pillow.
Somebody else could have done that thing. How are you so sure that it was accused only?
The person who came
Objection,
there.
Your Honor, badgering the witness.
No, yeah. We can proceed with the question.
The person Bruno then smelled the persons those were standing in that house. He smelled everyone. Then he went along with the dominant smell that were on the pillow and that was on the dead body. Then he went to the nearby house. Then he went to the bus stop. That is happened. The person who did this must have escaped from the bus stop. He also went to the migrant laborer's house.
Okay, so it can be possible, no, that somebody else would have passed away from that when the house was locked. How are you so sure that it was accused only?
No, because Bruno smelled the dead body and the pillow. Bruno will only follow. He is not a dog which get distracted by any other smell. He is specially trained dog for the past 7 years. I am with him. So I am that much confident that the person who did this went to the house nearby. Then he went to the bus stop. Then he escaped from there.
He could have been somebody else, right?
That is the duty of the police.
Okay, so you mentioned in just now a few seconds ago that you made Bruno sniff everybody who was in the house, right?
Yes.
But you did not tell it to the investigating officer. It's nowhere mentioned in your 161 statement.
It's not clear.
You just a few seconds ago you said that you made Bruno sniff everybody who was present at the house. But
Yeah, that is a normal procedure that we did.
Let me complete the question, please. But in your 161 statement, you have not mentioned that.
What?
Did you mention it in your 161 statement? Yes or no? A direct question.
No.
Point to be noted, your lordship.
Yes.
The relevant matters are discussed with and given statement to the SHO.
Is it one more question? The last question, please.
Yep.
Is it possible that somebody else could have passed through that passage? Yes or no?
Objection, Your Honor.
Bruno.
Yep. You're asking this question for the third time.
Same question. You may put it as a suggestion if you want it.
Much apologies. No more further questions, Your Honor.
Yes, next witness.
Prosecution,
Yeah, the prosecution would like to call the fingerprint analyst, Dr. Ashok.
PW 15, Dr. Ashok. Please proceed to the witness box. Please repeat after me. I shall state
I shall state
only the truth,
only the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
Thank you, court officer. Witness, for the benefit of the court, can you please state your name?
My name is Dr. Ashok Kumar and I'm fingerprint analyst.
Thank you, Dr. Ashok Kumar. Can you please state your relationship with this case?
I have got suspect fingerprints from the crime scene and non-identical fingerprints. And after further verification, I have found that both the fingerprints, that a fingerprint from the crime scene and the suspect fingerprint given from the police station was same.
Could you please elaborate on the found from the crime scene?
The fingerprints from the crime scene and the non-identical fingerprints that was given by the police were both compared. Fingerprints have minute characters or rich characters, and after comparing these rich characters, I have concluded that almost 17 points of both the fingerprints were same.
Can you can you elaborate a little more on from where in the crime scene the fingerprints were taken?
Okay. Actually, the fingerprint from the crime scene were collected by an expert and sent to me. But as far as my knowledge and as far as I communicated with the fingerprint expert from the crime scene, the fingerprint was available from the almara and from the pillow, but clear and valid fingerprints were found from the pillows, and that fingerprint matched with the identical fingerprint sent to me.
I will share a document. Can you please see if you recognize it or not?
Yes, I do.
Please mark this document as Exhibit A.
Yes, you can proceed.
Also, doctor, can you elaborate on, say, the manner of the fingerprint?
So the fingerprint from the crime scene is latent fingerprint. Latent fingerprint means the visible fingerprint which is obtained by dusting some powder, dark powder, and after the when the fingerprint is visible, it is obtained by using an adhesive tape, and that is latent fingerprint. And the fingerprint I got was latent fingerprint.
Okay. Thank you, witness. The witness is now open for cross.
Yes, correct examination.
Yes, much obliged, Your Lordship. So, Mr. Ashok, as our co-learned counsel, like opposing counsel, just showed you the document. You accept that you were the one who prepared that document? Yes?
Can you please repeat it once more? I couldn't hear.
Yes. As a document was just presented before you, you are certain that you are the one who made that document? Am I right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. And how many fingerprints were sent to you?
Basically, fingerprints from the crime scene and suspect fingerprint was sent. From the crime scene, fingerprints
Are you aware how many, are you aware where were those fingerprints collected from?
Yes.
Were you present at that scene of crime?
No, I was not there.
So are you the competent authority to say that from where they were lifted and where were they not?
Actually, I'm not the one who collected the fingerprint, but as far as I have communicated with the fingerprint expert, yeah.
That is why I was asking, Thank you. Moving ahead, in your report, you found that police officers sent you one fingerprint as suspected and one as a known person, right? Am I right?
I think I have stated that one fingerprint, identical fingerprint from the police station and a suspect fingerprint. That's what I said, I think.
Yes, exactly.
But
That's
I
what I'm
haven't
saying. You
mentioned
received two fingerprints, one of the suspected and one of the known from the investigating officer. Right?
Yes.
Yes. And you don't know from where they were collected. You cannot
Already
know
answered.
because you were not present. at that time,
Already
right?
answered. Already answered.
Question repeat.
Apologies, Your Lordship. Hence, in your expert opinion, is it a common practice that police usually send only two fingerprints, one being the known and one being the suspected ones?
A fingerprint sent by the police was the suspect person's fingerprint, and a fingerprint expert sent me the fingerprints which was found in that house. Especially as far as I communicated with him, that was from, I
Listen to the
think,
question
clear
carefully.
fingerprints from the
Please,
pillows
please
and
listen.
some fingerprints from the
Please listen to the
almara's
question
handle.
carefully. Humbly repeated. Yes, please listen to the question carefully. I asked, is it a common practice that police usually sends for the analysis only two fingerprints, one suspected and one known? Does this usually happen in cases? In your experience, you must be aware.
No, in this case, I think the police had only one suspect. That's probably why he had sent me one suspect fingerprint.
You
And after
probably thinks that will happen. In your expert opinion, I ask, humbly asking,
No, it
is it a
depends on the
common
case.
practice?
No, it actually depends on the cases.
Indeed, agreed. It depends on the case. I'm
Yes.
asking in your how well experienced are you? Can you state for the court?
More than 7 years.
More than 7 years. You must have tackled n number of cases.
Yes.
In those cases, in your general idea, is it a common practice by the police that only two fingerprints are sent, one the suspect and one is known? Just yes or no. Is it a
Objection,
common
Your
practice?
Honor. Asked and answered.
Your also not being answered.
Yes, yes, correct. You answered the
Already
question.
said
Please.
it depends on the case, and that is from
Yes,
her
please answer the
experience.
question. Please answer the question. Yes or
No,
no?
no,
Is it
no.
a common
Kindly answer. Kindly give a specific answer.
Yes. Much obliged, Your Lordship. Please, witness,
Can you please
answer the
ask me
question.
one? Can you please repeat the question once more?
Okay. Is it a common practice by the police that they sent you only two fingerprints, one being the suspected and one being known? Is it a very common practice? In your 7 years of experience, you must be aware. Yes. So you are saying that in usually cases, they only give you two fingerprints. One, they are very much sure this is the person, and one that is
Yes,
suspected.
she answered.
Yes, answered it.
Much obliged. Further. And you are not. One second, please. Can you tell, in your expert opinion, how many ridges, as you said, 17 pointers of matching? Usually, you need how many pointers to identify that this is a perfect match? In your expert opinion?
Usually, more than 12 points is far more than enough to identify a fingerprint similar.
Exactly. One more point. Is it again in a general basis asking? Usually you find this exact matches that up to 17 pointers. If I'm not wrong, please correct me if I'm wrong. That 17 is the perfect match. 17 pointers is near to perfect match.
More than 12 points is absolutely perfect. There is.
Yeah. So this must be very difficult, right? Usually you must not be getting these identical fingerprints. Like 17 pointers is a big thing, right? You can say with surety that this was the
As I said earlier, getting more than 12 fingerprints is enough to say that two fingerprints are same, and 17 is not that very much. But it's a
17
big
is
thing.
very conclusive. I'm just asking, 17 is very conclusive. Am I right?
Yes.
Yes. No further questions, Your Lordship.
Very good.
Yes, next witness.
Can the prosecution have Dr. Prasad as the next witness?
Okay. PW9, Dr. Prasad, please proceed to the witness box. Please repeat after me. I shall state.
I shall state.
only the truth,
only the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
Witness, could you please introduce yourself?
I'm Dr. Prasad, lecturer of forensic medicine, Medical College, Trivandrum.
Witness, can you just elaborate on how you are related to this case?
So I'm the doctor who actually conducted the postmortem analysis of the victim, who was identified as Sarojini Amma, as sent by ASI Ramchandra.
Witness, could you elaborate a little bit more on your findings during the postmortem?
Yeah, sure. On the general findings, I would like to conclude that from the findings, the body was identified as Sarojini Amma. He was 38 years old and weighing about 65 kgs, height up to 161 centimeters, and eyes were closed, pupils dilated, then cyanosis established over the lips, tongue, skin, and the fingernails. Then conjunctival hemorrhage was there. Then no formal sexual assault and no antemortem injuries are present. Then coming on to the internal findings, the brain and the skull and scalp were intact. It was edematous. Respiratory tract was filled with frothy liquid. Then kidney was pale. Inside the stomach, there were 200 grams of rice and other unidentified food particles. Then on the face of the victim, there weren't any form of injuries or marks. And this can be concluded as a clear case of asphyxia due to smothering. And we can conclude that because there weren't any marks or injuries. And also it must have been soft material must have been used to suffocate the victim, and it must have been done by the behind because no form of impact or injuries, external or internal, were present on the head or anywhere of the body of the victim.
Witness, I'll just present a document before you. Please let me know if you recognize the document.
Yeah, exactly. This is the document.
Please mark this as Exhibit B. Thank you, witness. Now the witness is open for cross-examination by the defense.
Cross.
Your Lordship, we don't seek to go for cross-examination of the postmortem forensic science. Doctor.
Yes.
No cross.
Next witness.
Can the prosecution have Inspector Rishi in the witness box next, please?
PW3,
April.
Rishi, please proceed to the witness box. Please repeat after me.
Yeah.
I shall state
I shall state
only the truth,
only the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
Witness, could you please introduce yourself for the benefit of the court?
I'm Inspector Rishi, Inspector of Medical College Police Station. I have conducted the investigation of this case.
Could you please elaborate on your relationship with this case in a bit more elaborate manner?
Yeah, I am the investigating officer of this whole case. I conducted the entire investigation. On this particular day, when after the FIR was launched, I rushed to the crime scene. We conducted the inquest, and then some fingerprints were also being recognized. It was sent for examination. After that, I was accompanied with the dog squad to the house of the migrant laborers, and then the dog squad led us to the bus stop. And then on the very next day, when Hemant Mandal was being brought to Trivandrum by Inspector Rangraj, we also obtained a disclosure statement which stated that he had stolen some jewelry and has sold it to Jaya Jewelry in Chale. And then the fingerprint after the fingerprint examination, the fingerprints of the almirah and the one which we obtained from the pillow, everything matched with that of the accused, and hence we came to the conclusion that Hemant Mandal is the culprit.
Witness, I'll just show you certain, I'll present something before you, just tell me if you recognize that.
Okay.
Without.
Do you recognize this,
Yes.
Inspector? Please just mark this as Exhibit C.
Yes.
Your Honor, there are a few more things to be recognized, few more material objects.
Yes, proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Inspector, do you recognize this object?
Yes.
Please mark this as material object 1.
Yes, proceed.
Inspector, do you recognize this object?
Yes.
Please mark this as material object 2. Do you recognize this, Inspector?
Yes.
Please mark this as material object 3. Do you recognize this, Inspector?
Yes.
Please mark it as material object 4. One more document will be presented before you. Please state whether you recognize that document. Do you recognize this, Inspector?
Yes.
Thank you. Inspector, can you elaborate a bit more regarding the findings you gathered from the people you investigated during this case regarding the house and Sarojini Amma and everything?
After we examined everyone, like mainly we asked about the migrant laborers. They said that Hemant Mandal, such person has went for chitti on the particular day. Then we we questioned Krishnan, who's the last person who saw Sarojini Amma and Hemant Mandal together. And the jewelry owner have also identified Hemant Mandal producing certain amount of bangles, and which he then molted back into, and which was molted into a stone. So all these people were accepted.
Thank you, witness. The witness may be open for cross-examination by the defense now.
Yes, cross.
Yes, much obliged, Your Lordship. So, Inspector Rishi,
yes,
you just said in your chief that you took fingerprints from Almira. Am I correct?
Yes.
You did not collect fingerprints from any other place. Am I correct to say that?
No, we collected from the pillow as well.
Have you mentioned this in your final report, submitted before this court?
Yeah, well, I have said this.
Please, can you repeat your answer? You are not audible. Have
Yeah,
you mentioned this in your report?
Yes, I have.
Yes. Your Lordship, the counsel would like to present a document in front of the accused, in front of the, my apology, in front of the witness. Page number 19. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
Yes. This is the, if I'm not wrong, this is the very FIR, like the final report you submitted before this court, right?
Yes.
Yes. Can you read the second paragraph for the court? First line.
Can't.
Okay, I'm reading it. Just let me know if I say something which is not written here. The fingerprint on the handle of the Almira, material object 5, was matching with that of the accused. Postmortem report also suggested that the death was due to asphyxia. Am I correct?
Yes.
is there any mention of any fingerprint taken from a pillow?
Yeah. Yes. No.
No, right?
Yes.
No. And you just said you had submitted. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. Point to be noted, Your Lordship.
Yes.
Further, so when you got to the scene of the crime, you must have taken statements of the husband, right?
Yes.
Yes. In that statement, did the witness not tell you that nothing was stolen from that house?
Yeah. He for at first we just asked whether something was missing from the almirah, and he told that nothing was missing from the almirah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Moving further.
But then,
But you still seized that almirah on that
yes.
time only.
Yes, we see.
Without any reasonable cause. Am I correct?
Sorry to interrupt in between. Defense, please note you have 5 minutes remaining for cross-examination.
Noted. Thank you, Court. Yes. So, Inspector Rishi,
Yes.
where were we? I was asking you that you prepared the Mahazar, even though Rajendra Pillai clearly told you that nothing was stolen from that almirah. Am I correct to say that?
Yes.
Yes. You did not have any reason to confiscate that almirah. Am I again correct?
It was like the fingerprints were obtained from the almirah. So as part of that, we have also collected the stuffs which were inside the almirah to see if some fingerprints were there. But then no fingerprints from the almirah was inside the things in the almirah wasn't being done. But we just collected it if to see if there is any fingerprints or anything of that sort.
But you didn't have any reasonable suspicion to know that something was stolen because the owner of that very almirah said nothing was stolen. Even if you found a fingerprint, you didn't have any cause to know that it was not from the husband or the wife. After the statement of the husband, you didn't have any reasonable cause to seize that almirah. Am I correct?
See, fingerprints were obtained from the handle of the almirah. So as a result, we also checked inside to see if something like some fingerprints matched with those, but nothing was matching with those. Just the fingerprints matched with the like handle of the almirah.
But when did you receive that? Am I correct to say that you received the fingerprint report on 10th?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Before that, you could not have known about this fingerprint analysis. You are just an inspector. You couldn't have analyzed the fingerprints. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. Point to be noted, Your Lordship. The inspector had no reasonable ground to seize that almirah and merely seized that out of some intuition or something, and they have not able to justify it. Moving further, you said that the accused. Can you tell us when was the accused caught?
The very next day from he was caught traveling in the Chennai mail. Was caught by Inspector Rangaraj.
Sure. And when did he get to you?
He reached Trivandrum by 10. The very next
Did
day.
you make and you arrested him there?
He was taken from there to Trivandrum on the very same day. That is very next day.
Did you
That is
prepare the arrest memo?
Sorry.
Did you prepare the arrest memo?
Yeah. No.
You did not prepare the arrest memo.
No.
Your Lordship, point to be noted that
Yes.
proper due procedure was not followed. Further, you are saying that he led you to a jewelry shop. Am I correct?
Yes.
When he was in your arrest without any arrest memo. Am I correct?
Sorry to interrupt in between. Defense may please note you have 2 minutes remaining for cross-examination.
Sure. Please answer quickly. We'll wrap up soon. So you took the accused to the jewelry shop without preparing the arrest memo first. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. In that shop, you only collected a material object being which I would also like to showcase with the permission of your lordship. Golden gold. Please pass. So, do you recognize this?
Yes.
Yes. This was, if I'm not wrong, this was what you seized from the jewelry shop.
Yes.
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 And again, you cannot trace it back to Hemant Mandal. Am I correct?
Sorry.
You cannot tell that these were molten bangles which Hemant Mandal could have allegedly given to the jeweler. Am I correct?
The jeweler owner said that this is made up of those bangles which Hemant Mandal sold to him.
Your Lordship, just to point out that just on the hearsay saying of the jeweler, it cannot be testified here. He must be present here to testify that these were given to him by the accused.
Your Honor.
Okay, move to the next question that we can argue. It's a point for argument.
Yes, yes.
So just my final question to you, Mr. Inspector Rishi, that you cannot trace just this molten gold back to my accused, right? My client accused.
Objection, Your Honor, asked and answered.
No, just a furtherance of the question. Without the testimony of the jeweler, you cannot trace it back. Am I correct?
That's the point of argument.
Defense, please note your allotted time is over.
Okay.
With the permission of the Lordship, we would like extension of time for further process if you may require.
Okay, 30 seconds.
No, Your Lordship, we are done with sir. No further questions. But for the further cross, we are asking kindly if you may kindly allow us to.
Yeah, yes. So 30 seconds.
Much obliged, Lordship.
The prosecution would like to call the next witness, which is Robert Pius.
PW 14, Robert Price. Please proceed to the witness box. Please repeat after me. I shall state
I shall state
only the truth,
only the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
Witness, can you please introduce yourself for the benefit of the court?
I'm Robert Pius. I'm the headmaster of Charley Government LPS Boys School.
Can you please state your relation to this case?
I am the witness of the seizure mercer of 75 grams gold.
Could you elaborate a little bit more on what was happening at the spot where this seizure was happening when you signed it?
Okay. I went to the jewelry at Charley to buy gold for my daughter's wedding. At that time, I saw the police officers in that place, and some of the police officers were my students, so they recognized me, and the police called me for being the witness for the seizure mercer, as they wanted a person who's well known in that locality to be the witness.
Witness, could you elaborate a little bit more on what was the circumstances between the police and the accused as well as the jeweler while you were at the shop witnessing the seizure?
The police there was an investigation going on, and initially it did not look like a questioning or something like that, because the owner of the jewelry and the accused and the police was having a normal conversation, a very cooperative conversation. And later, the jewelry owner handed over the 75 grams gold to the station house officer. He seized it, and later I signed the mercer.
Witness, I'll be presenting a document before you as well as a photo before you. Could please let me if you recognize that.
Yeah.
Do you recognize this document?
Sorry to interrupt. Prosecution may please note, you have only 5 more minutes remaining.
Thank you, court officer. Do you recognize this
Yes.
witness? Please mark it as Exhibit C.
Yes, proceed.
Your Honor, there's one more image that the counsel would like to present for recognition. Do you recognize this material object that has been already marked?
Yes, I recognize this.
Thank you. Just briefly, could you elaborate on the way of cooperation, or elaborate a little bit more on the cooperation that you witnessed at the spot that day?
Yes, the accused and the owner of the Jaya Jewelry, Mr. Narasimhan, was peacefully answering to the police officers who were asking them questions. Yeah, This was the process that I saw.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on the content of the conversation that they were having there?
The accused pointed out to Narasimhan and told that he gave the 10 bangles that he took from that house, and he gave to Narasimhan. And then Narasimhan, the police asked whether it is true. Then Narasimhan told that yes, he gave me these 10 bangles, and in return he gave him 3 lakh rupees. Then Narasimhan, the police asked that what did you do with those what is the state of that gold bangles right now? Then Narasimhan put that I melted it for making some fashion jewelry, and he handed over those melted jewelry to the station house officer. This is what happened.
Point to be noted, Your Honor. Thank you, witness. The witness may be open for cross examination as per the discretion of the judges.
Yes.
Cross.
With the kind permission of the judges, can we proceed with the cross?
Yes, cross.
The cross
Yes.
does not need any permission from the court.
Yes.
So you're right.
No, sir, for the time, extension of time I was asking.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir. Much obliged. Mr. Robert, please. You said when you said that you reached that jewelry shop when the Mahazar was being prepared. Am I correct?
I reached
In your
when
chief, you just
police
said
came
that.
there. Yeah, I reached when police was at the scene.
Your Lordship, just to point out a contradiction, in just chief, the witness said that her students asked him to
That you can
get
argue.
there
That you can argue.
Yes. Point of argument. Don't waste your time.
Much obliged, Your Lordship. You were there, you reached the place with the police? Am I correct to say that?
No. I reached there. There were police. Some of the police officers recognized me as the headmaster, and they asked me to be the witness.
Sure. So police was already present at the scene. Am I correct?
When I reached there, there was police.
Yes. And in this apparent case, you are the Mahazar witness for the molten gold, which our learned opposing counsel just showed to you. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes. And okay, no further questions. Thank you, Your Lordship. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next witness.
Prosecution.
Prosecution would like to call one final witness, that is Officer Rangarajan.
PW 10, Rangarajan, please proceed to the witness box. Please repeat after me. I shall state
I shall state
only the truth,
the
whole truth,
whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
Witness, can you introduce yourself for the benefit of the court?
Myself, Inspector Rangaraj. I am the Inspector, Police Protection Force, Chennai Railway Station.
Inspector, can you just elaborate your relation with this case?
Actually, on 25th of April 2022, I got information from Inspector Rishi, which is from Medical College Trivandrum, that an accused went to Chennai, and as per the information on 26th of April 2022 at 7 a.m., I caught the accused from Chennai railway station at platform number 7, and also I seized some of his item from him.
Inspector, we'll be putting up certain documents and photos before you. Please let me know if you recognize the same.
Okay.
Do you recognize this document?
Sorry to interrupt. Prosecution, may please note you have 2 minutes remaining.
Thank you, Court Officer. Inspector, do you recognize this document? This is mark.
Yes, I recognize.
Thank you. Please mark it as Exhibit D.
Court Officer, next document.
Do you recognize this bag, Inspector?
Yes, I recognize it.
Do you recognize this next image of this molten gold as well? Sorry, the cash, 500 rupees cash as well.
Yes.
Okay,
I
point to be noted. Could you please like elaborate a little bit more on this material objects that you have recognized right now before the code?
Okay. On 26th of April 2022, when I saw the accused, he was on platform number 7. He was having a bag on. He was having a shoulder bag, like which was a gray jute bag. And when I opened it, what I found was 5 bundles of notes of 500 rupees, and which was costing about 3,01,000 rupees in cash, and a mobile phone, an unpreserved ticket from Toronto to Chennai, and an Aadhaar card of him claiming that that name of the accused was Hemant Mandal.
Thank you, witness. The witness may be open for cross-examination.
Yes. Cross.
The counsel seeks permission to go for the cross-examination.
Please do.
So, Inspector Rangaraj, you detained our accused at what time?
It was 7 a.m. at morning.
And when did you receive the message?
I received on 25th of April 2022 at evening.
Okay. And when you detained our accused, what did you find with him?
He was having a bag, shoulder bag with himself, which was of a gray color and made of jute bag. And when I opened it, what I found was a mobile phone, an unpreserved ticket from Toronto to Chennai, an Aadhaar card of him claiming that his name is Hemant Mandal, and also some cash, which worth about 3,01,000 rupees in cash.
Okay. And when you, what did our client mention anything about that cash which he was having?
He was said that when I asked about the cash, he was said that it was from a chitti, but I don't believe that because he's a migrant labor. So how can I was really suspicious that he was holding that much of money with himself.
Why not? When he mentioned that he got it from a chitti, why can he not have that amount?
Because I really didn't believe that.
The believable no relevance. Come to the quiz.
Much obliged. Could you repeat yourself?
Sorry.
Could you repeat yourself, please?
From where?
Objection.
You ask your question.
Yeah, I just want to ask one more question. So why are you so suspicious that he cannot have 3 lakhs in cash when he has specifically mentioned that it was from a chitti fund?
Because I didn't believe it. But it was the first time when I asked about the cash, he was a little panicked, and then he replied that it's from a chitti fund, and I don't believe that.
Did you mention that in your report?
No.
Mention it in your.
No.
Point to be noted, Your Honor. There's a contradiction with the statement. No more further questions.
Thank you. Okay.
No more witnesses?
The prosecution is done with their witnesses.
Okay.
Okay.